Hey, Tony Gaskins here, just popping in. Now, listen to me. I want to touch on something because I seen something that I realized. I was looking yesterday, and I was looking at how, and I want y'all ladies to understand this now. I was looking at how the gentleman, Stephen A. Smith, have wrote a book. You know, he wrote a book. Now, Stephen A. Smith, if y'all don't watch ESPN, he like the number one, probably gonna be the number two, like, sports commentator on ESPN. And he very, very loud. So he, you know how they call black women loud? Stephen A. Smith is the male version of what they say black women are. And so that's how he has made it in sports commentating, is just being very loud, very, you know, aggressive, assertive, just opinionated. And so it kind of gives us that caricature. Now, there is not a white equivalent of Stephen A. Smith, but what Stephen A. Smith has done, I realized. So they showed him shooting a jump shot. And when I seen him shoot that jump shot, now if you watch me shoot a jump shot, I played basketball through the 11th grade. I didn't play my senior year, but I'm gonna go do a video one day of me dribbling the ball and me shooting a jump shot. And you're gonna see how someone who has played basketball for, what I played, 8 to 17, that's a decade, you will see the form. When Steven shot that basketball, he looked like a beginner. It looked like a beginner. But he says he played in college and he was good enough for a college scholarship. Now, I think he said he didn't play in high school, or he didn't make the team in high school. So that it's not adding up, okay? And this man on national television. And then he said he broke his kneecap in half. Now, I played basketball from the age of 7, and I played football. I mean, from the age of 8, I played football from the age of 7, and I played 3 years of football, college football. I've never seen a broken kneecap. And he said he broke his kneecap in half. I've never seen anyone break a kneecap, ever, in any sport. So now I work with basketball players since 2010. The top high school 100 players at the top 100 count, the 60 NBA draft picks, and then Division I basketball players, all the way down to junior college. I mentor basketball players. I've never seen nobody break a kneecap. But yet, this is Stephen A. Smith's story. It do not sound believable. He also was saying he got a 6-inch screw in his knee. Now, Shaquille O'Neal, 7 foot tall, and he can't even fit no 6-inch screw in his knee. Stephen A. Smith might be 6 foot, the 6'3" or something, and he say he got a 6-inch screw in his knee from breaking his kneecap in half. Nah, something ain't adding up. And this is why I want to let y'all understand that men lie. Men lie. Now, with what we seeing with the lady, with the 98 seasons of her story on TikTok, we are now being introduced the lies that men tell. But what I want y'all women to understand is every last one of y'all is being lied to. The issue is you be believing it. So what I'm gonna tell you is believe none of what you hear, like the quote say, and only what you see. But now what you see, you even got to vet that. because a lot of women is being lied to and you being finessed. I remember when I was out there playing the game, I had this girlfriend in 9th grade, and I'm gonna tell you how these lies go down, because I did me one of these Legion lies one time. Had this girl in the 9th grade, and she was the prettiest girl in the school. In my opinion, she was the prettiest girl in the school. I think in my homeboy's opinion, she was the prettiest girl in the school. Well, there was a dude who had her. He had her, and he was like a cool dude. Like, he wasn't no athlete. I think he could have been a dope boy. He probably been 9th, 10th grade or whatever. He was a cool dude. And I had this other young lady who was the second prettiest girl in the school. That was my girlfriend at the time, the second prettiest. And I walked up to the dude who had the prettiest girl. I said, hey, man, let's switch girlfriends, man. He was like, all right, man, we'll do that one day. And then so something happened. I don't know if he left the school, got kicked out of school, something happened. Me and the young lady, we broke up. Then I shot my shot at the other young lady, the prettiest girl in the school. And she was like, all right. So she became a girlfriend. But she became a girlfriend just because I was one of the more decent looking guys in the school. And I come from a good family. Mom and dad in the home. That was very rare. Nice cars. I live in a house, not in an apartment, not in the projects. That was also rare. And so, come to find out, she was said to be cheating on me with one of my homeboys who was like maybe 3 grades older. Probably could have been a senior. But he was a thug. He used to fight a lot. He'd just knock people out for no reason. He just was acting out. And so he got kicked out of school, had to go to, like, you know, get put on probation or go like to the bad people school. He used to get dropped off by like a caseworker or a probation officer or something like that. I used to see him in the car with the person sometimes. And I went over to his house one time because his younger brother was a year younger than me, and we was cool. And I went over to the house one time, and he was like, and he handed me this picture. He said, hey, you know, here go a picture of your girlfriend. So I'm like, and the picture looked like from her 9th grade picture, because we in the 9th grade. I'm like, how in the world you got a picture? I'm thinking in my head, but I ain't really say nothing. He kind of had a little smirk on his face. So people were saying that he was sleeping with her or had slept with her. I didn't know. I ain't know what was going on or whatever. So he gave me a picture of her. That was a real boss move, like to give another man a picture of his girlfriend. I ain't really realized how player that was at the time, but I still felt disrespected. But I ain't say nothing because, you know, this guy, he was known for knocking people out. And so I had watched him knock the dude out one time for no reason. It was because of my homeboy who had one eye used to always try to start stuff. And he went and told him, the man that this skateboarder white guy was bothering him, and that white boy hadn't bothered him at all. And we was walking to the trike, and we had to walk past the high school from the middle school, and the boy came out and got beside the white boy. He probably said a thing or two to him, and then he just swung on him. Next thing I know, the white boy just dropped to the ground, hit the ground, slumped over, head fell over, hit the pole of the fence. So me and my cousin, we both had a daddy. My daddy's side of the family, they raised their kids. So me and my cousin, we both had a daddy in the house. Nobody else had no daddy. Me and my cousin went in the coach's office, and we snitched. Both of us snitched because we just was good people, man. And that was wrong what he did to the man, so we snitched. So he got in trouble. I think he might have got expelled. I think somebody told him that me and my cousin might have snitched, but ain't nobody bothered us because my dad family is 10 boys, 2 girls. So it's 12 of them, and we all live in the same area. So you fight a Gaskin, you gonna have a long rest of your life because it was too many of us. So I remember he rolled by us in the car, and he leaning on the window. He looked at me like this, like he had heard something. I just looked at him. I ain't never have to fight because my cousin, who was shorter than me, was tougher than me. And anytime somebody wanted to fight me, he'll be like, hey, you want to fight my cousin? You got to fight me first. And he'll say it with so much vigor that they'll be like, oh, no, this little joker might have some hands. And we was athletes, you know, we played all the sports or whatever. So here we had a snitch. None of that would have to do nothing with the story. So later I go to college. I'm playing football. Now coming out of high school, I averaged 10 yards a carry. And that's not a lie. But I played at a private school, so I played with majority white kids. I come from playing with all black kids, and I was fast, and I was the best running back with all the black kids. So imagine playing against other athletes who are as athletic as me, and I'm scoring 2 to 4 touchdowns a game. So imagine what I'm finna do when I go play against white kids who are not as athletic. I'm running all over them kids. So I became #1 in the county. I averaged 10.2 yards a carry. And my senior year, I popped my ankle, had a high ankle sprain. They taped it up, and I played at about 70%. I had 1,100 yards that year, but the guy who keep up with the yards, I don't know if he just did me a favor, but he added like another 200 yards, so I finished with like 1,300 and some yards, 1,300 and some yards, and I had played 9 games. So I averaged over 100 yards a game. Now in them 9 games, I really played 6. And so I was averaging over 200 yards a game. They did this thing where colleges come in or whatever, this school, they came, they watched my highlight tape, they called me. I had committed to Florida Atlantic University, which is a Division I school, to be a preferred walk-on. Then Division II school called me and said, we got a full scholarship for you. You know, we give you all the athletic money that we can give you. Then we give you a Pell Grant or something from an endowment we got. And then we give you academic money. So at Florida Atlantic, I believe it was $11,000 a year. This school here, West Virginia Wesleyan, D2 school, was $28,000 a year. So me and my family thought, well, if it costs more than twice the amount, and it's a private school, and they call it a junior Ivy League, I'm gonna get a better education there. They paying more money. They make an investment in me, whereas Florida Atlantic want me to come on and prove myself in training camp. And I could get hurt in training camp, and then y'all stuck paying $11K a year or getting loans. So my AAU basketball coach told me, go where the money at. So I went where the money at. Got up there, instantly regretted it. Cause boy, Florida Atlantic was so sexy down there, boy. You at Boca Raton. In Florida Atlantic, I'm talking about all of these women looking good. Cause me and my family had visited to meet the football coach and stuff. Man, I went to Buckhannon, West Virginia. That was the worst decision at that time that I had made. And I got up there, and then sure enough, got in practice. We scrimmaged. I'm running all over these boys. It's the same thing. I'm like, oh my goodness. Every time I touch the ball, I'm about to run for a touchdown. I said, oh my goodness, this too easy. So I got lackadaisical. It just didn't challenge me enough. It wasn't hard enough. And so I remember I came home. It was in the summer. Maybe summer after my sophomore year. Or something like that. Or it could have, yeah, maybe summer after my sophomore year. Came home, had a girlfriend. Her name was tattooed on my stomach, black girl. And it's covered up now with a Black Panther. And I came home, trying to remember the story now. Oh, and the young lady that I had dated in the 9th grade, she had a son now. And mind you, we sophomores, she had a son that about was 5. I don't know how old he was. And one of them long names that I had, now y'all, a lot of times y'all parents don't be educated. And they give y'all one of these names that don't make no sense. He had one of them names, and she had it tattooed on her arm. Now, mind you, I don't think she graduated high school. I do not know. So me and her link up, and boy, she looking good as she wanted to look. When I tell you, but I had never slept with her because we were so young. When I was dating, I was in 9th grade. I hadn't even lost my virginity yet. I lost my virginity later in the 9th grade. And so we somehow met up or whatever. We hanging out. I'm driving my daddy Lexus. My daddy had a LS 400. If any of y'all got a Lexus, y'all know what a LS 400 is. Well, my daddy had an LS 400, and I think it was a 1994. And this could have been 2004. So 10 years old, but it looked nice. And what happened is he bought it for $10,000. That LS 400 was the same car that a white billionaire drove. We had a white billionaire that owned a trucking company that went to my private school. He was like part owner of my private school. He drove the same car my daddy drove. So that's why I live out of my means now, because I come from that. And so here I'm driving an LS 400. So now I'm looking like I'm a black kid driving an LS 400. This the big body Lexus. And it's two-tone, cream with a gold around the bottom. Boy, look here, boy. And I'm playing college football. Don't nobody know nothing about college football because ain't a lot of us that go to college from where I'm from. So if you go to college, people gonna think you going to the pros. So let me tell you how I did my old Legion life. So I'm over there with the young lady, right? And she beautiful and, you know, got a little boot on her, everything, flat stomach, everything. And one day I looked down, she had a gym bag. And the gym bag was open. It looked like some bathing suits was in there. I said, what's that? You going swimming? I said, I ain't got no bathing suits in that gym bag. She was like, oh, I dance. I said, okay, why you dance in a bathing suit? Like, what? I don't understand what you mean dance. She said, you know, I strip. I said, oh, okay. I try to keep it cool because I'm like, this is the worst thing in the world. I say, well, you strip, where you strip at? She say, it's this dude that he pick up me and my homegirl and he drive us 3 hours to Jacksonville and we dance at a club up there and then come back. I'm like, oh, okay. So you drive 3 hours away to dance. I guess that makes sense. You don't want to, you know, boo-boo where you eat at or eat where you boo-boo at, like they say. So I ain't judging her now because I ain't want to do nothing but get my lick back because I remember being in 9th grade and trying to get me something. She was turning me down all the time. Like she was classy. And so I'm like, I come to get my, so what I did one day, I'm sitting at her house and I had to sneak over there because she was on Section 8. So because she was on, now see what the lady did? I got me a 50-part series too now. I can tell me a 50-part series, but I ain't gonna do it. So I sneak over there and she on Section 8. So with Section 8, you ain't allowed to have no man. If you want to keep this government assistance, you're not allowed to have a man in there. So she had to sneak me in real late. And from her scripting, I think she had got turned out more than what she was letting on. Because I was be at the house, you know, I'll be at the house and I get a text from her like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it'll say, are you going to come F me or what? I never heard nothing like that now. I'm a pastor's son. What? That was disgusting to me too, though. I ain't like somebody talk to me like that. Child, don't talk to me like that. Now, I wish my wife would talk to me like that, but she don't talk to me like that. But here go this young lady. Are you going to come F me or what? So I'm like, oh, I live in my parents' house. Like, can I even get out the house at 2 o'clock? I mean, I know I'm grown, but still, my daddy don't really play that. So I stayed in the bed. I said, no, I ain't gonna be able to make it over there tonight. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, girl. I got a daddy. If I just had a mama, yeah, I'd get on up and come on over there. But I got a daddy. I got to answer to somebody. So I go over there in the daytime and then I stay into the night. And then one time I stayed over there for 3 nights. So we breaking the Section 8 rules. So she was like, man, one of the other girls, because she said this whole thing is Section 8, so none of us can't have no man. Y'all see how the government do, black folks. They don't want you to have no man and keep that check coming. And so she say, one of these girls gonna hate on me because you out here with Alexis and you staying over here and they can't have they man in their house, so they gonna get mad if they find out you staying over here. So I'm over there. She'll get in there and cook my old greasy hamburger in that dirty pan. And Boy, I'm over there. I'm over there in sin, boy. You hear me? I'm over there in sin. But before I got in that sin, let me tell you how I did this. I did my old Legion lie. And this is what y'all ladies be going through, and you have no clue that y'all be going through it. So I'm on a fake phone call like Legion. I'm on there. So we were sitting on the bed. I flipped my little flip phone open and I touched the ringer to make it ring. Cause you touch the volume, it make the sound of the ring. I hit the little make it ring. Oh, hold on, let me take this call. So I stepped on over. I kind of slid over to the other side of the bed, turned my back, opened the phone. Hello? Yes, this is he. Oh, okay, yeah, how you doing? Okay. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, I want to play in the NFL, but, you know, just got to make sure the numbers right. Mind you, I'm a college football player right now, and body looking amazing. I got an 8-pack of abs. I really had a 14-pack of abs. Chest, arms, best shape of your life. And this young lady, I don't even think she graduated high school. She's scripting. She on Section 8. So she don't know nothing about college sports. She don't know nothing about pro sports. She don't know nothing. She was working at a restaurant, a buffet, and I used to drop off at the restaurant if I spend the night, and then I come pick her up later. And I picked her up one time, and I was like, you know, I picked her up, and I was like, okay, so how you get paid? Like, you can make tips? And she was like, yeah. I was like, well, how much you made in tips today? She said $12. And the reason why I asked her, because in high school, I had a white girlfriend who worked at a restaurant, and she used to make $100 to $200 a night in high school working at Longhorns. Send your daughter to work at Longhorn now, especially if she's white now. And when I talked to my black girl, how much? $12. I'm sitting up there like, man, I can't even borrow nothing. Like, my goodness, $12. The white girl used to give me $100. Like, you barely $12. I said, I'm thinking to myself, like, I see why you need Section 8. Cause my goodness, I understand why you scripting too. $12 after a whole shift of work. So I'm sitting down. So back to my phone call. I'm on the phone call. I'm like, so you saying, so they saying $20 million for 4 years? I mean, what you think about that? I mean, I'm one of the top running backs in the country, like one of the best running backs in the country. I mean, 20 million, 4 years, what's that? 5 million a year? Okay, well, I mean, hey, you my agent. If you can make it happen, I mean, 20 million, you know, that'll change me and my family life. I'm on the phone now. I'm on the phone. I'm not even getting in the game. You hear me? Because I'm a red shirt freshman. No, red shirt. Yeah, I was a red shirt freshman. That season, I started one game. Had 2 fumbles. Fumbled the ball twice. And had a white girlfriend at that time. Broke up with her because she slept with 5 black guys on my team with me. So I broke up with her. And so I started one game, and I played fourth quarter of like 3 or 4 other games. That year, I probably finished the season that year with probably 100 to 200 yards, 100 to 300 yards. I ain't even keep count. One game I had 60 yards, one game I had 40 yards. That's all I can remember. So I was averaging 5 yards a carry, but had 100 yards. That's all I can remember. And my son came back from training. We had soccer training. Got to love these kids. He talking about Cal. And so I averaged 5 yards a carry, which is more realistic for a running back than when I was averaging 10 yards a carry in high school. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm on a fake phone call. And so I get off the fake phone call pretending I just got offered $20 million for 4 or 5 years. I can't remember if it was 4 or 5 years. And so I'm talking to her, and boy, she got wide-eyed. So I'm like, yeah, that was my agent. You know, they said they offering $20 million for 5 years. I say for the NFL. Now this how I'm getting her, cause see what I'm telling this lie for, I'm trying to get her open. Cause you know she pretty. I had wanted her since high school. I'm trying to get her open. Now she ain't have a clue. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all ladies. Y'all really be clueless about stuff. You got to Google stuff. You got to look stuff up. So she ain't have a clue. So I sit there and I say, yeah, they offering 20 million for 4 years. She said, well, that sounds like good. I mean, that sounds like a lot, don't it? I said, yeah, it's pretty decent, you know. I said, what you think? I said, you think we'll be able to live off that? I'm selling the dreams of grandeur, just like Legion. I said, you think we'll be able to live off that? She said, yeah. Then she went to getting sad. She went to getting in her feeling. She said, well, you know, I just feel bad. I'm like, why you feel bad? She's like, I just feel like I don't have nothing to offer you. I'm thinking in my head, you showed out there $12. You, I'm like, my goodness, came home with $12. And so she's like, I don't have nothing to offer you. Like, you know, I didn't graduate high school. I didn't go to college. You know, I'm working up here to the restaurant. Then I have to dance. You know, I don't want to dance. And I just feel like it's better out there for you. I'm thinking in my head, you sure ain't lying. But guess what? After that, boy, them legs was open sesame. Boy, I'm in there in sin. You hear me? I'm in there in sin. Boy, I'm talking about every which kind of way. I'm in there. I'm in there and I'm just like, man. And boy, you know when you done waited on some 5 years, you don't know how to act. Boy, I'm in there. And so then, next thing you know, after 3 days, my daddy called him like, boy, where you been at, man? And you got my car. You know, he ready to strangle me. But see, he also don't know yet if I'm going to go to the NFL. So he ain't getting too aggressive with me because I'm in college playing football. So he, you know, he's giving me some leeway. And then I had a job. I'm working a job to the corporate office. You know, I'm working at corporate in the summer because I had connections from the private school. So I had her drive me to work in my daddy Lexus, drop me off. I'm working corporate, meaning like slacks and shirt with a tie sometime. And then she'll come pick me up, and my tires all chalky. Got a bunch of white stuff on the tires. I'm saying, why my tires so chalky? She said, oh, I went down to the bottom, Boggy Creek. I'm like, what, girl? You taking a left? I wasn't yelling like that. I'm like, why in the world? You notice my daddy Lexus. Now you can't be taking no Lexus to the bottom. Now who in the world you? Well, I went to see my mama. I said, nah, you doing too much. Nah, I ain't say it like that, but I'm like, hold on now, listen, this is my daddy car. You can't be taking this down to the bottom and getting all this chalk on the tires. Cause it was dirt roads down there, the little white rocks, the little chalky rock. So here, but now she wide open, boy. When I tell you she wide open, boy, she cooking, she flipping and tossing because she heard that 20 million. So what I want y'all to understand is 90% of relationships with a man is started on a lie. 90% of relationships, a dream is sold. A dream is sold. And if men would sit down and tell the dream that we sold, y'all wouldn't even look at Legion too crazy. Y'all wouldn't look at Legion that crazy. Y'all would be like, well, darn, Legion just another man. 60 to 80% of men have put hands on a woman. So there have been physical altercations with 60 to 80% of men. Y'all will look at Legion totally different because some of y'all say, well, they say he was physical with his ex. Even that is still normal, unfortunately, in our society. Ask your mama if you ain't been through it. Ask your sister if you ain't been through it. That happened a lot. Studies say that every 9 seconds a woman is abused. Who you think is happening with? Every 9 seconds? Divide this time on this video by 9 seconds, and that's gonna tell you how many times a woman has been abused since you've been watching this video. You see what I'm saying? You got to think about this. So that's why I'm trying to help women come to the realization of, this is why you got to learn the game. This is why you got to be ready. This is why you got to be prepared. Y'all stay out with the comments talking about, I'm gonna just stay single. It ain't about staying single. It's about getting knowledge. You don't pass the LSAT unless you study. You don't pass the MCAT unless you study. You're not finna pass the RCAT, which is the relationship category, unless you study. You have to get the game. When you get the game, that's when you could change your name. What I mean is your last name when you get married. But you got to get the game in order to be able to change your name and to keep it changed. Now, the thing with the young lady is, as soon as Legion hit her with them lies, she was wide open. Just like I had the young lady when I told them lies. And the thing about it is, guess what? I'm married to my wife, but I probably most likely told her some lies when I met her. It wasn't as grandiose because she was in college, biomedical science major, and had a lot of sense, so I couldn't sell her too much. But I sold her on like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer, a author. I probably hit her with something like that because I'm in college at the time. I could say that. So she, a pastor, you know, I just, it's a lot that I want to do in life. And that was the truth. I did want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a pastor. I wanted to be a police officer, detective. It was a lot I wanted to do. And I said it in class one time, and the whole class bust out laughing because I mentioned like 4 different careers. And my teacher, old cool white dude, he was teaching, I think this was Africana Studies. Well, how is you a white man teaching Africana Studies? But it was some kind of class in college, and he was like, hey, why you guys laughing? Like, the average career is only 4 years. He can do all of that if he wants to. If he really puts his mind to it, he could be a police officer. He could go on, you know, and be a lawyer, and he could start his church and, you know, be a pastor. Like, that's realistic. He can do all that if he wants to. I was like, you know what, teach, that's what I like to hear. Mind you, I'm sitting in the classroom with a 1/4 pound of weed and a .380 handgun in my backpack with no, I had a notebook and a pencil in there too though, but I used to get calls in his class for a little sale, and I have to leave class in the middle of the class, go make that sale. Wasn't making them but $10 selling a dime bag, but I sure was finna go get that $10. And this right here is what I want y'all to understand. Like, you listening to somebody who is married and faithful, 100% faithful, and living a honest, God-centered life. Here it is, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I had to drive an hour to take my son to soccer training at 10 o'clock in the morning, wait out there an hour, then get him and not drive an hour back. This kind of life I'm living. While I'm working for you, giving you the game. This the kind of life I'm living. I'm multitasking. My son in virtual school now. So here I'm here multitasking. What you need? And you need to start making sure you lotioning at night, son.
It's for my lips.
Oh, I'm like, you're a little too dry.
No, it's my lips.
Okay. And here I'm here multitasking. This is the life I'm living, but listen. At the same time, I got me a little Legion story. You know, got me a little story. Now I seen the man came out and say he thinking about a lawsuit and his job, and say he do PR for a hospital or something like that. But now I don't believe a word he's saying, because what the lady done said, I'm like, he probably lying now. He probably still lying. Talk about lawyers talking to him, but he about to do a lawsuit. I said, but he probably lying through his teeth. So honestly, truthfully, I believe he is a, you know, compulsive liar. Cause I could believe that. You know why? Cause I'm a man and I know how men lie. And that right there, what he did, it's a lot of men lie like that on that level. And we still do it in the marriage. It's some days I'm like, yeah, baby, man, we got savings for days, man. We got all kind of savings. And Lord forgive me. I be sitting there finger crossed, Lord. Woo, that savings ain't nowhere near what I just said. So that's what I want you to understand, is you got to look well within. You got to look well within. You got to stop believing everything you hear. And you got to look well within. And you got to take your time and be patient. And understand that this is real life. This real life, man. And it's nothing easy. Ain't nothing going to be just handed to you. You got to be mindful. You got to pay attention. And you can't be desperate. You can't be thirsty. You got to take your time. Now I'm driving without my map on, so I'm getting a little lost. So I got to get on off of here so I can turn this map on before we be in Tahiti somewhere. But cause we're an hour from home. But hey, God bless you. I'll touch back on this. We're gonna talk on this. So what I'm working on right now, what my goal is right now, is continue to expose the game and give y'all the real game versus this watered down fairy tale that y'all be getting. Y'all get a watered down fairy tale, and women don't really understand men. Women don't really know men, and women don't realize how malleable, meaning we can conform, we can change, we can grow, but the woman is the catalyst. The woman is the helpmeet. So the woman gotta know the man and understand the man, so you know what to do and what not to do. And that's gonna help your relationship evolve and grow. But hey, this Tony Gasson, God bless you. We'll talk soon. That's the dog racing track. It's a Derby Club Poker. That parking lot kind of full 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, see? Vices. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.